Okay, so on this question, we are wanting to compare the two fractions, determine if they're equivalent. If not, indicate which is larger. Well, you know what I'm going to suggest on this one? I'm going to suggest you just make them into decimals on your calculator. That's going to be the easiest way. What am I talking about? Well, we have 3/25 here, and we have 1/8 there, right? Just take out your calculator and go 3 divided by 25. And I'll do my calculator too. And it'll tell you 0.12. So this one's 0.12. And then do the other one, 1 divided by 8 on your calculator, 0.125. So this is 0.12 and this is 0.125. So are they the same or is one of them bigger than the other? Well, the one on the right, this one is the bigger one. So you put the greater than, less than symbol. So it's the wide side is toward the bigger one, right? It has a wide side and a narrow side. The greater than, less than symbol has a wide side and a narrow side. You put the wide side towards the bigger number. So just change both those fractions to decimals by using your calculator to divide. And then it's easier to tell which one's bigger and which one's smaller. Let's try the next one. So again, on your calculator, I'm going to go 9 divided by 32 on my calculator. I'm getting 0.28125. And then 3 divided by 8 on my calculator, 0.375. So this one's 0.28125. And this one over here is 0.375. So which one's bigger? Goes this way again. This one over here is the bigger one. Just like that. All right, now the third one. 4 divided by 3 on my calculator. It's a decimal that goes on and on, 1.33333 forever. And then 12 divided by 9 on my calculator is the same thing. 1.3333 forever. So they're both 1.333 forever. So they are equal, aren't they? That one. And then the last one. So 3 divided by 9 on my calculator. 0.3333 forever, and 1 divided by 3 on my calculator, 0.3333 forever. So they are also equal. Just like that. Okay, now let me show you how you could do it by hand without a calculator. It's tedious, but it's possible. Let me show you. Let me go back to the 3/25. Let me just show you by hand in case you're wondering, Mr. Is there a way to do this by hand? There is. It's just a little tedious. It's just easier with the calculator. But here's how you would do it by hand now, if you're interested. You don't have to do it by hand. You can use a calculator on the exam. But here's how you would do it by hand. Basically, you by hand, you must make the denoms the same, common denominator. You've got to make the denominators the same in order to compare them and decide which one's bigger, which one's smaller. So how do you do that? You multiply by the other denominators. So this one, I'll multiply top and bottom by 8. This one, top and bottom by 25. Remember, we've done that before, making common denominators. You multiply by the other denominator, but you got to do the same thing top and bottom because you can't change the fraction. So when you do that, you get 24 over, let me see, what's 8 times 25? 8 quarters, $2. And then this is going to be 1 times 25 over 200. Yeah. See how I made them common denominator? You see that? And now it's pretty clear. This one's bigger, which is the same answer we got up here, right up here. That way, the one on the right is bigger, is a little bigger. We did it by changing to decimals on our calculator. Here it is by just making fractions. Either way is totally fine. You could make them into fractions that have the same denominator, and then it's easy to tell which one's bigger, which one's smaller. Or you could just make them into decimals by dividing And then it's also easy to tell which one's bigger, which one's smaller. So that's how we do it. Just make them common denominator fractions and you can tell which one's bigger, which one's smaller, or just divide, make them both decimals and you can tell which one's bigger, which one's smaller, just like that. Either way, there we go.